So thank you so much for jumping on and joining us today for the Free TAFE course presentation. Hopefully you find it interesting and informative and get some answers to the questions that you might have. So first of all, as an introduction, my name is Mel. I work here at Hill Institute and I am the Skills and Jobs Centre Coordinator. So I look after all of the Skills and Jobs Centre services that we have at Hill Institute. So we're just going to go through today what courses are listed under Free TAFE, what Box Hill offer you, and most importantly, what employment opportunities are going to be at the end of Free TAFE. Because if you're coming to study anything, it's really important that you understand where it's actually going to lead you post-study. So Free TAFE was designed for people who may be considering a career change, have always wanted to study, but the timing wasn't right due to maybe financial implications. And I guess particularly it wasn't designed, but it is there also for those maybe impacted by COVID-19 and are looking to change careers or move into a different pathway. So Free TAFE was an initiative of the Victorian State Government, and it's to give people a chance to study and reduce the financial barrier. Okay. All of the occupations that have been chosen are those needed most by employers within the Victorian economy, as per the labour market data and the projections over the next 5 years. So the Victorian State Government have recognised now more than ever the skills we need to build our state are learned at TAFE, which is why Free TAFE is obviously there. So there are currently 42 free courses listed and 20 apprenticeship pathway courses listed and eligible under Free TAFE. Okay, so a lot of the time we get questions around, is this really free? Because nothing's ever free. It sounds too good to be true. And what Free TAFE means is that eligible students will pay zero tuition. So the government will fund 100% of your tuition fees. What it does mean though, are other charges are still applicable. So things like student service fees, amenities, material fees, they're all still payable by the student, okay? Depending on your institution, and here at Box Hill, we do offer also payment plans. So if you need to look, even though the tuition's free and you still have other costs and you need to look at what we can do there, our customer experience team can speak to you about payment plans and let you know if you're eligible for that as well. So there are other options to make sure that we can give you the best opportunity to come and study. So this is just an example from our website. So just to show you what the Free TAFE cost would be. So this is for the Certificate 4 in Accounting and Bookkeeping. So if you came in and you were eligible for a Free TAFE place, which we're going to go through in a moment, your tuition fee would reduce to zero. So as you can see there, we have the full fee of $7,656 if that's what you had to pay. If you were eligible for a government subsidised place, you would pay $3,366. But if you were eligible for Free TAFE, that reduces to zero. But as you can see, the service fee is the same across all platforms. The core skills support fee is the same, material fees are the same, okay? But your total course estimate and total payable at commencement is different because of that zero tuition fee, okay? Each course will be different. Material fees and retained course items will vary between courses, whereas the service fee and the core skills support will be the same across all of our courses. Okay, so is there a catch? So you do need to meet eligibility criteria to be eligible for Free TAFE. Okay, so you have to be able to take one of those places. Eligible students, it's really important that you can actually only access one Free TAFE course across the duration of the program. So if you've already done a Free TAFE course in 2019, you cannot do a second one in 2020, okay? You can't be doing that. You can only do one. And Free TAFE places are for someone commencing a course. So if you're already enrolled into a course and you're partway through that course, you can't claim that course as your Free TAFE place. But what you could do is have a look at another course down the track to upskill and maybe take a Free TAFE place there, okay? So a place needs to be available as well in your chosen course. Just because you want to do it doesn't mean there's going to be a spot available. TAFE generally works on a first come, first served basis. And once our course is full, there's not much we can do about it to give you an extra place, except for pop you on a waiting list and maybe talk to you about other opportunities, okay? There are also caps that have been placed on some of our courses, and that's right across the state. And reason being is these are in some of the courses that are quite popular, we don't want to flood the employment market with all of our candidates at once. So the caps have been put in place so that we can stagger our enrolments, which means we're staggering our graduates and moving them into industry at a slower pace, rather than overwhelming them with lots of qualified graduates at the same time. Okay, so to meet the eligibility criteria, you absolutely need to be an Australian citizen, a PR, or a New Zealand citizen, or be recognised as a victim on human rights trafficking. And if you do fall into that last category, you will know about that one. You have to live in Victoria for the duration of your study. You cannot have already studied 2 government qualifications in 2020. And you, as I said before, you can only do 1 free TAFE, so you can't have already done a free TAFE place. Okay, so just a bit of a comparison, the difference between a free TAFE place and a government subsidised place. So the Victorian government subsidise lots of training courses already in Victoria. There's close to 1,000 of them that are already heavily subsidised. What free TAFE is, it's just taking that to the next level. So rather than subsidising a portion of that, they're subsidising 100% of the tuition fee. Okay, so there's no difference in the quality of course, there's no difference in the level of qualification, there's not a difference. It's just regarding the financial payment that the government's contributing to your tuition. So as I mentioned before, it's really important from a standpoint of study that you understand what study means and what it's going to bring to you. So doing a free TAFE course means that you're choosing a course that has been matched with some of the biggest growth areas in the Victorian labour market predicted over the next 5 years. Okay, so through to 2024, we have healthcare and social assistance, which is predicted to grow by 15%. Which actually equates to about 250,000 jobs, okay, across that 5-year period. Building construction, which is 9.7%, which is approximately 14,000 jobs, okay. Education and training, almost 130,000 jobs. And our professional and scientific, that's almost 172,000 jobs. And we're going to go into a little bit detail in a moment as to what sort of jobs fall under these categories. And we've got our accommodation and food services, which is also predicted to grow by 8.4%. Okay, so when we look at those, what we mean is, okay, so you can see it here, healthcare and social assistance is by far the fastest growing area in the Victorian economy. Okay, followed very closely here by your professional and technical services and construction. So it's actually predicted by the end of 2024 that professional, scientific and technical services will actually overtake construction. Okay. Okay, so when we talk about healthcare and social assistance, we're talking about anything to do with the health and well-being of people. Okay, so anything to do with caring for people. And when we talk about this industry, we have a look at some of these professions like aged and disabled carers and nurses. There's a massive demand in the healthcare sector because our population is aging. So more people are now leaving the workforce than they are entering it, which means that there's less people to do the work and there's actually more demand on systems like hospitals and systems like aged care facilities. Same with the youth workers, mental health care workers, such a big push at the moment on looking after your well-being that there's a lot of employment opportunities available there right through this sector. So this is just an example of some of the jobs that are available in that sector, but this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you are interested in the sector, there's so much more available and we can help to work with you to identify what's right for you. So education and training, early childhood educator and education support. There is a huge amount of funding being pulled into early education and training at the moment because it's being identified that more people are having to go back to work earlier. And also focus on early development. Early intervention has shown to have great results moving forward. So the earlier we capture some of these things for people, the earlier we start to put intervention in, give them education support, the better that's going to be for their long-term progression. Kindergarten teaching as well, more and more people coming back to TAFE and to recognise the qualifications that TAFE can give you and the advantage that that can give you throughout your career as well. So they're just some of the positions in education and training. And some of the courses that match this industry are listed there. So I'm not going to read through all of those, but they're there for you to have a look, and you can actually grab a copy of all of these slides in the handout section. They're there and available for you. But if you look through some of those slides, they really do match with those jobs that we just spoke about, the Diploma of Nursing, the Community Services Training, that mental health support. They match the jobs that are growing, okay? And it might be that you do one of these courses as a pathway to something else that you want to do, or just to give yourself an idea of, is this something that I want to do for my career, okay? We then have those professional, scientific and technical service positions, and always we go, oh, well, what does that mean? So some of the positions that fall under that category would be your accountants and your bookkeepers, our engineers, our cybersecurity experts, our ICT support technicians, and our economists, okay? So these positions within this sector, there's certain ones that are predicted to grow quite heavily, and that's these top three here: our accountants, our bookkeepers, and our cybersecurity experts. They have the biggest growth within this sector. So what that means is the courses that have been listed are all relatable to those jobs. So we have our Diploma of Accounting, Cert 4 in Accounting and Bookkeeping, and also the Cert 4 in Cybersecurity, which are available there. Again, it's really important, just because the Cert 4 in Cybersecurity is free, it's really important to have a look at, well, what are the entry requirements for that? Is that something that I can do? And what does a job look like in cybersecurity, and is that something that I'm interested in? Okay. And then we have construction. So that's all of our traditional trades. So our carpenters, concreters, landscapers, gardeners, all of those fall under the building and construction bracket. And this industry is growing dramatically. The residential side of construction is predicted to fall, and now even more so after the impact of COVID-19. But it's actually our civil construction that's predicted here in Victoria to really grow, and that's on the back of some of the projects in the Big Build initiative, which some of those include the Melbourne Airport Rail, the Westgate Tunnel, we've got the M80 upgrade, the Monash upgrade, and also North East Link. So that's just some of the projects. It's a $70 billion package that's so far timelined all the way through to 2027. Okay, and it's important that when we're choosing a career, we look at something that's going to have that long-term longevity for us. It's to generate over 15,000 jobs in civil construction, and so far it's 119 major road projects and rail projects that have already been announced. So even with the impact of COVID-19, things will look different for a little while, but this industry is still predicted over that 5 years to have quite a lot of growth. So the construction courses are listed in two categories. You have your construction courses, which are non-apprenticeship pathways, and that includes your Cert 4 in building construction and your diploma, which is more of that management sort of level. Same with the Certificate 4 in plumbing and services, and the Cert 3 in horticulture as well, which can be done as a non-apprenticeship. Okay. If we have a look at the 20 other courses that we spoke about, the pre-apprenticeship pathway courses, they're a really great way, if you're considering a career in a trade, these are a really great way of getting started and getting to know, is this for me, before committing to a 3-year apprenticeship. So on the free TAFE list at the moment are those 20 courses. And what you do by doing these courses is you're committing maybe one school term. So most of these courses won't be more than 12 weeks long. You're getting to learn hands-on, you're getting hands-on practical experience. You're getting to learn, okay, what is it that this is about? So if you're going into carpentry, you'll learn the basics of framing. You'll learn how to use those hand and power tools. If you're looking at doing a salon assisting, you'll learn that, how to use the equipment. You'll learn the basic techniques for hair cutting. You'll learn some of those business management within a salon, how to communicate with customers. And you'll get an idea to go, okay, before I commit to this 3 or 4 year apprenticeship, is this what I want to do? Okay, so for many employers, a pre-apprenticeship is also their preferred prerequisite to coming into an apprenticeship, because it also covers off on a lot of important things like safety in the workplace. And you think about going into a building site, safety is going to be a very paramount thing there. So some of the pre-apprenticeship pathway courses that are offered here at Box Hill include those there. Again, I'm not going to read through all of them, but a new one and interesting one is that printing and graphic arts, which is a little bit traditional to your traditional trades, like your electrician and your building and construction. And we also have the salon assisting there as well, which will generally lead you through to hairdressing or barbering. Then we have the other one we have is the accommodation and food services. So this industry has been hit particularly hard at the moment by COVID-19, but we are starting to see them pick up on the other side. But some of the interesting things, so when you look at accommodation and food services, that also includes tourism. And there's an 8.7% growth in tourism that's anticipated, and over 12% in hospitality as well. So that's why these particular courses here have also been put on the free TAFE list. So you can undertake your Certificate 3 in commercial cookery as an apprenticeship or as a direct through TAFE. We've also got the Certificate 3 in hospitality, and we've got the Certificate 3 in tourism as well. Okay. So employment post-study, the great thing about coming through and studying at Box Hill is that you also have access to our Skills and Job Centre team, which is where I'm from, and we're there to support you with the transition from education through to employment. Okay. And what we're going to do here is, we're going to provide you access to an online jobs board. So employers will call our institute and they will let us know, hey, we've got a vacancy and we're needing some support to fill it. And we get that opportunity to present that to you as a student here. We can then help you to develop a tailored and professional resume or cover letter to apply for those jobs. Okay. We need to remember to also think about interviews. Going into an interview can be a really nerve-wracking experience. And we want to make sure that we're really completely preparing you for that. So we'll do things like mock interviews with you. We'll do things like talk to you about interview techniques, talk to you about different types of interviews, depending on what one it is that you're applying for and what that looks like. If you have to use key selection criteria, we can also go through that with you, and you can access a series of job search skills website at any time. And the great thing about what we do is that you're able to come through at any stage, whether you're a student or a past student, or you finished your studies, and access that support. Okay. Okay, so if you need any more information, a great place to start is the Box Hill website. For absolute up-to-date current information on courses and start dates and fees, we would always recommend that you start on the website to have a look at that information. Or there's also the free TAFE website. So if you're interested in a free TAFE course that might not be run at Box Hill, or you want to compare and have a look at some statistics and things, freetafe.vic.gov.au is a great website to start with some career information and pathway information there as well. Okay, I just really want to pause for a moment and just remind people that just because a free TAFE course is exactly that, free, doesn't mean it's the right choice for you. There are other things that you need to consider before committing to study. Okay, so things like your life circumstances. Just because it's free, some of the free TAFE courses go for 18 months. Do you have 18 months where you can essentially give up a full-time income to return to study? Okay, you need to be able to identify, well, if I do come back and study for 18 months, what does that job then look like for me? How much am I going to earn? And does that match what's important to me and my lifestyle at the moment? If you have commitments like a mortgage and you need to earn a certain amount of money, you need to look into, well, am I going to earn that by doing these courses? Okay. You also need to be aware of your own learning style. Do you learn better coming into campus? Would you be better to learn online? What does that look like for you so that we can match you with the best possible course to help you get the most success out of that course? Okay. So what we absolutely encourage you to do is we have some additional webinars coming up later this week. So we have one on Wednesday, the 17th of June, which is about future job trends. So that's going to go into a lot more information about where the jobs are likely to be and to have a look at mapping out your career pathway. And we also have one here on which course will help you reach your goals. So it's about really honing into you as a person, having a look at what it is that you want to do and establishing what pathway is best for you. So it's about all those things you need to consider before returning to study. So you can come and get career advice at any time, whether you're a student or not, from one of our careers advisors at the Skills and Jobs Centre. What that means is rather than just receive general information, you're actually going to receive personalised and tailored support. So we'll be able to talk to you about your own personal circumstances, what qualifications you might have, what job you'd like to do, what does your life look like, and we'll be able to help you map out a pathway that's best suited to you. So you can meet our Skills and Job Centre team anytime between Monday and Friday, 9 till 5, and we can do at the moment appointments either via Zoom or via the phone, because all of our centres are actually closed due to the COVID-19 impact. So the best way currently to get hold of us is you can jump on the Box Hill website and complete a form that will come straight to us. You're welcome to also give us a call, our phone number's there, or shoot us through an email as well and give us a little bit of an idea of what you're looking for so that we can match you to the best career consultant to give you a call and start to process that with you. Okay. So we are going to show you a video shortly on how to apply, but ideally the best place to start is the website. There's a enroll button on the website, and which will go straight to our customer experience team, and they'll be able to start to process that application with you. There is also a live chat on the website, which can be really useful if you've got a couple of quick questions, and you can reach out and speak to someone straight away. What I suggest is if it's course related, then if it's about a question about the course, then you use the website and contact our customer experience team. If it's more about a career and if it's right for you and you're not sure what to do, that's certainly when you come back to the Skills and Job Centre on those contact details to have a bit more of a chat first about what option might be right for you. Okay, so we need to acknowledge that the Victorian State Government actually fund the Skills and Job Centres at Hill Institute to provide that career advice and guidance for you if it's needed, and it's a really great service that we definitely encourage you to support. So we might get that video played for you just to show you how to apply.
Ready to apply at Hill Institute? The first step is to contact us by calling 1300 Box Hill, submitting an inquiry through our website or via live chat. We're here to answer all your questions and ensure we find a course that's right for you. We will email you an application pack, which will include a link to start your application. The application will take about 30 minutes to complete and submit. Make sure you have your ID and your proof of residency handy, such as your Medicare card or your passport, as you'll need to upload a photo of this to your application. As part of the application pack, you may be required to complete a language literacy numeracy profile. This is to ensure that you meet the entry requirements into the course and for us to support you in your studies. The profile will take you around 90 minutes and must be completed in one sitting. The other one is a pre-training review document, which will ask you questions about your interests, your aspirations, your career goals, and your prior study. Once completed, you will need to upload both documents to your online application. Depending on the course that you're applying for, you may be required to submit extra documents such as a subject selection form, a workplace declaration form, or an under 18 parent/guardian consent form. You may also be required to watch an online information session as part of your course. This will be discussed with you when you inquire. Once your application has been submitted, you may be required to attend an interview or an audition remotely. We will contact you if you're required to do this. After this, our team will be in touch to book an appointment to finalise your application. This appointment will be conducted over the phone, where we will run you through the pre-training review. This will include timetable information, fees, and student support. Once we have finalised your application, we will email you a conditional letter of offer. You'll need to follow the steps to accept your offer online. To finalise your enrolment, you'll need to make payment. There are several ways to do this, such as a payment plan or VET student loan. We look forward to welcoming you to Hill Institute.